So let's look at a couple of examples here. Say we've got a problem line. Let's see. Write the equation of the line passing through 3, -5 that is perpendicular, that is perpendicular to x plus 4y minus 8 equals 0. So I'm going to say, so what do we do first? And you're going to say, find the slope. Okay, because remember, this is the slope section. So anytime we do anything, we're always going to find the slope. So let's get started. We've got our line. So this is our old line. All right, it's, let's see, x plus 4y minus 8 equals 0. Now I like to leave my y's positive, so I'm going to move the x's over. I'm going to move the 8 over so my y stays positive. I didn't do that before, and I kind of wished I had. I don't like dividing by negatives. So, and again, if I'm going too fast for you, just, pause it, work it out on your own first, and then all you have to do is watch me. I don't know if that's any better, but then at least won't be going too fast. Or you can always pause or do whatever you need to do. Excuse me. There we go. All right, next step. Divide both sides by 4. So I get y equals -1/4 x plus 2. Okay, so my slope of this line is -1/4. Now here's the important question. What would the slope of the perpendicular line be? Remember, so I'm going to take -1/4, and I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to change the sign. So the slope of the perpendicular line would be 4. Okay? The slope of the perpendicular line will be 4. So now, using that, I want to find the equation for my new line. And I'm going to say it passes through 3, -5. And the slope is what? Because it's going to be perpendicular to the other line, so the slope for this one is going to be 4. All right. Now, I didn't really specify at the time, but let's say that we want to get this in point slope form. All right. So we've got our general form. All right. This is our m, our y1, our x1, our y1. y1 is -5, and our slope is 4, and our x1 is 3. So we've got y plus 5 equals 4 times x minus 3. And that would be the slope of the line, that was loud, the slope of the line perpendicular to the old line. So that's kind of neat. Alrighty, let's try another one. This one's kind of fun. Say we now want to find the equation of the line in the slope-intercept form. That passes through 6, 3, and is perpendicular to the line that has a y-intercept of 6 and an x-intercept of 1. All right, so I'm going to say, what are we going to do? And you're going to say, find the slope. Say, well, wait a second. I don't have anything. Yeah, you do. On your old line, let's summarize what we do know. It has a y-intercept of 6 and an x-intercept of 1. So the y-intercept of 6, what point is that? What coordinate pair is that? Think about that. So since the y-intercept means the 6 goes in the y spot, so that means the other one's 0. And for the x-intercept, since the x-intercept is the 1, then the other one is 0. So the x goes in the interesting part here, and the y goes in the interesting part there. So now I actually have 2 points. So how do I find the slope between 2 points? I'm going to use the slope formula. y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Yep, continue to use everything constantly. We'll call this x1, y1, x2, y2. So I've got, hi kitty, I've got y2 minus y1 over 1, got a key 11 on me, minus x1 is 0. So I've got negative 6 over 1, which is the same thing as negative 6, right? Okay, so if my slope for this line is negative 6, what would the perpendicular slope be? So if you want to think about it, actually looking at this negative 6 over 1, I'm going to flip and add. That looks really confusing there, I'm sorry. So I've got, basically, I've got negative 6 over 1. I'm going to flip it and switch the sign. So that comes out to positive 1/6. Right? So the perpendicular slope is positive 1/6. If you're ever scared that maybe you didn't do it right, your slope times your perpendicular slope, remember that's always going to be negative 1. So that's a check. So in case you think your brain's doing something weird. Alright? So now let's take a look at our new line. I've actually got to kind of move down, unfortunately. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make it smaller because I really like having it side by side. Dum-dee-doo-dee-doo. I'm just going to make this line a little bit smaller. Right. Okay. So now I'm going to summarize my new line. Now, what do I know about my new line? Let's look at the problem again. All right, it passes through 6, 3, and has a slope of, what's my slope? My slope is 1/6. All right, and I said I wanted my solution in slope-intercept form. Okay, so I want it in slope-intercept form. So I want it in the y equals mx plus b form. Now here's a caution, okay? Don't use this stuff. This stuff is old. So don't go thinking, oh, well, I've got my b. It's right here, because it's not. That's not your b. That's not your b. This is 100% entirely extra. This is old stuff. So for all we care, this is completely gone. All right? We only care about the new line side, and that's kind of what I want to show you side by side, because I want you to realize this, that this b here is very, very special. It has nothing to do with the old line. It belongs only to the new line, okay? So don't try to take any shortcuts and say, oh, I don't have to do that stupid b thing, because you do. You do have to do that stupid b thing, okay? So we're going to do what we did before. We're going to plug in our values, x, y, m. So we've got y is 3 equals m times x plus b. So 3 equals 1 plus b, and subtract 1 off of both sides, and get 2 equals b. So b equals 2. Why do I feel like I'm doing this funky? Who knows? Who knows? I'm pretty sure I'm doing it right. Anyway, so when we're summarizing our y equals mx plus b, we can substitute our m. Excuse me, y. Go ahead. our y is, is equal to m. Our m is 1/6 x plus b. 1/6 x plus 2. And that would be our solution.